Good day to all of you children. This is Mrs. Florence, English teacher, Mahatma Gandhi Vidyalaya. A warm and delightful welcome to all of you for this video session. Today we are going to learn the first lesson of class 6, Who Did Patrick's Homework, written by Carol Moore. I hope all are enthusiastic to learn this new lesson. So let's get started. This is a wonderful lesson and a story which has presented magical realism, which means something that is not magic but a belief, and it has been presented in a very beautiful manner. A boy named Patrick who gets inspired and feels propelled or motivated to work hard by an imaginary elf, a supernatural being, is not only able to complete his works, rather scores high grades. This story conveys a message that we should never lose hope in ourselves. Self-help works wonders. Let's start with the text. Patrick never did homework. Too boring, he said. He played hockey and basketball and Nintendo instead. His teachers told him, Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. And it's true. Sometimes he did feel like an ignoramus. But what could he do? He hated homework. Now let's look at the meanings of the passage. Nintendo. Nintendo is a type of a video game. Ignoramus, an ignorant person who lacks education. Patrick is a boy just of your age, just like you. He did not like homework. He never did his homework because he found it boring. But he was not at all a lazy boy. He played different outdoor games. He played hockey, basketball, and he also liked video games. But the only thing he was lazy was for his homework. He hates doing his homework because he was not interested in studies. For him, homework was boring and tiresome. His teachers wanted him to do homework. If he wouldn't do so, he wouldn't learn anything. Patrick felt the need of doing homework. He would feel like an ignorant person, as if he lacks knowledge and he should listen to his teachers. But alas, he hated homework so much that he was completely helpless in this regard. Then one day, he found his cat playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. He had a little wool shirt with old-fashioned breeches and a high tall hat much like a witch's. He yelled, "Save me! Don't give me back to that cat. I'll grant you a wish. I promise you that." This was told by the elf. So here the poet has made the reading more interesting and he has introduced a lot of rhyming words. Here the author has used the word breeches which rhyme with the word witches. And he has used another word cat which rhymes with that. Let's look at the next word, breeches. Breeches. Breeches means breeches or short trousers. Here the author writes it for fun to rhyme with the word breeches. The next word is witch, W-I-T-C-H, witch, which means a woman who uses magic to do evil. And the opposite of this witch is wizard, W-I-Z-A-R-D. Wizard is a man who does magic. Next is grabbed. Grabbed means caught or get hold of. Tiniest. Tiniest means smallest. Yelled means shouted. So one day Patrick observed his cat and he saw that it was playing with a doll. and he was surprised to find that it wasn't a doll, rather, it was a man of a small size. It was wearing a woolen shirt with old fashioned trousers and a tall hat, which made him look like a witch. The doll cried and requested Patrick to save him and not to send him back to the cat at all. In return, the doll promised Patrick that he will fulfill his wish. So Patrick was granted a wish by this amazing creature, the elf. What could Patrick possibly wish for? What could a boy who's fed up with his homework wish for? Maybe you know it. Now let's read the next answer, next paragraph, and find it out. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all of his problems. So he said, only if you do all my homework till the end of the semester, that's 35 days, if you would do a good enough job, I could even get A's. A semester is a period of 6 months, like how you have your SA1 or SA2. A period of a semester is a 6 month session, a duration between your exams. It was difficult for Patrick to accept that he was so fortunate to get a solution or answer for all his difficulties through this tiny little man. So he asked the little man if he could do all his homework till the end of the semester period, that is the end of 35 days. The elf has to help him, and so this Patrick can score A grade. Now Patrick was thinking that with the elf's help he could improve his grades. The little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth thrown in the hamper. He kicked his legs and doubled his fists and grimaced and scowled and pursed his lips. Oh, am I cursed? But I'll do it. Here, dishcloth is a cloth that is used to wash the utensils or the kitchen items. Hamper. Hamper is a basket, especially a basket with a lid. Then you have 3 other words: grimaced, scowled, pursing lips. All these grimaced, scowled, and pursing lips are facial expressions, the expression that comes on your face when you show disgust, anger, and disapproval. Next is wrinkled. Wrinkled is a slight folding because of the age, or sometimes even when you're angry, you get wrinkles. Next is cursed. Cursed means ill-fated or annoying or angry way in expressing. So after hearing all the instructions from Patrick, the elf showed a lot of wrinkle on his face, as though his cloth was wrinkled. We say that the cloths are wrinkled, no? So that kind of an expression the elf had on his face. He showed disapproval for the work given by. And then he kicked his legs, he doubled his fists, and he made unhappy faces. He asked if he was that unfortunate to do that task, but he promised Patrick that he will do all the work. And true to his word, that little elf began to do Patrick's homework, except there was one glitch. The elf didn't always know what to do, and he needed help. Help me, he'd say. And Patrick would have to help in whatever way. I don't know this word, the elf squeaked while reading Patrick's homework. Get me a dictionary. No, what's even better, look up the word and sound it out by each letter. Glitch. The new word is glitch here. Glitch means a fault in the machine or some problem in the machine. And squeaked. What is meant by squeaked? Squeaked is crying aloud. So this elf, the supernatural creature, it kept his word and it started doing the homework. But it needed a lot of help, as the elf did not know all the things. Then Patrick had to help him. Sometimes while reading Patrick's homework, the elf would cry aloud and say he don't know the meaning of that word, and so to give him a dictionary, or that something that would help him to find the sound of each letter as well as each word. When it came to math, Patrick was out of luck. What are times tables? The elf shrieked. We elves never need that. And addition and subtraction and division and fractions. Here, sit down beside me. You simply must guide me. Elves know nothing of human history. To them, it's a mystery. So, the little elf, already a shouter, just got louder. Go to the library. I need books. More and more books. And you can help me read them too. So, the meaning of shrieked is a high pitch cry. Shrieked is high pitch cry. The elf did not know anything, children, about Max. All the Max concepts were completely new for this elf. So Patrick was very unfortunate. The elf explained that the elves never needed Max concepts. The elves need not know addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and fraction. The elf said it knew nothing about Max. So Patrick had to sit and guide him. The elf also did not know anything about human history. It was completely strange to him. Then he screamed at him and he asked him to go visit the library and to get a lot of books from the library. As a matter of fact, every day, in every way, that little elf was a nag. Patrick was working harder than ever and was at a drag. He was staying up nights, had never felt so weary, was going to school with his eyes puffed and blurry. So now he had a lot of problems, children. So now let's look at the meanings. Nag. What is meant by nag? Nagging is troubling someone, all the time going and pestering someone, asking them to do something or the other. Drag. Drag here, the meaning of drag is dull. It's not interested in anything. Then weary. Weary means very tired. And then blurry. Blurry means looking very dull and tired. So actually, that little creature, that little elf was either troubling or complaining or asking Patrick to do something or the other all the time. Patrick was not able to sleep and was awake for nights together, and he had never felt so tired before in his life, and he had never let go his sleep, and he was going to school with all dull looking eyes. Finally, the last day of school arrived and the elf was free to go, as for homework there was no more. So he quietly and slyly slipped out the back door. Finally, it was the last day of the school. Slyly. What do you mean by slyly? Slyly means very secretly. Because it was the last day of the school, the elf, it was completely free and it had all the freedom to go from that place. There was no more homework to do. So without speaking anything, in a very secret manner, the elf moved out from the back door. Patrick got his A's. His classmates were amazed. His teachers smiled and were full of praise. And his parents wondered what had happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid who cleaned his room, did his chores, was cheerful, never rude, like he had developed a whole new attitude. Chores means all the work that is done day by day in the house and whatever works you do every day. Attitude is feeling about something that is positive to someone. Amazed is surprised. So why everybody was surprised? Because Patrick scored A grade and his classmates were all surprised. All his teachers were full of appreciation. And his parents just wanted to know what had made him so perfect and what had happened to him. He became an exemplary child who was playing all his roles all by himself. He cleaned his room by himself. He became a happy child and was never rude, and he developed a complete new self and look. You see, in the end, Patrick still thought he'd made that tiny man do all his homework. But I'll share a secret just between you and me. It wasn't the elf, Patrick had done it himself. In the end, it was it was not the elf who did all the homework, but Patrick was the person who himself did all the homework. The elf was just support. He just propelled him, or he just motivated him to do everything. So as we are towards the end of the lesson, it's just high time to summarize the lesson. Patrick was actually not a lazy boy. He just hated his homework. With little interest in studies, he couldn't achieve, but later on, Patrick got good grades and he was totally transformed, gentle, and a handsome boy. He still thought he made the elf do his works, but it was he himself who did all the works. Hope all of you enjoyed the story, children. I shall give you an assignment. You should complete all the short answers that is based on this lesson in your English classwork. Hope that I will see all your classworks as photocopies in my mail ID. Thank you. Enjoy your day.